this is the last thing you need, but it's showing that you have not yet returned your youth protection training. Is that a correct statement or not?
No, who do I need to get it to?
Well, when you take it, you hit a button and it automatically goes.
Yeah.
You've done it?
Yeah, I did it right as soon as I got it.
That's what I thought. Okay, so I will make sure he checks again.
Yeah, in fact, I checked it and it showed, I checked it and I showed you this, I gave you a screenshot.
You did a completion. Okay, that's why I want to make sure that this isn't right or this is wrong. Okay.
Yeah, but if I need to do it again, I'm happy to do it again.
No, we don't need to make you waste your time.
But I am happy to do it again, no problem.
David, the microphone on your cell phone is on.
Yeah. Oh.
Good afternoon. Today is the Marine Corps anniversary, and in honor of Veterans Day, Greg McGuire is going to handle our formalities.
Very good. Thank you, President Katie. Happy birthday, U.S. Marine Corps. Hoorah! Well, today's our annual Veterans Day celebration recognition for all our veterans. And with that, we had the Palo Verde High School, JROTC, join us today, which is very exciting. Super pumped to have them back with us again after a year of COVID. And so if everybody would remain standing as we present the colors. Present colors. Arlene, can you join us? Or Susan?
Isn't that a lovely note? Happy birthday, Marine Corps. Happy birthday to my husband, who is a Marine. And ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rotarians and guests, please join me in singing the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? Nicely done, everyone.
We all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Color guard, post. And Bob will lead us in the invocation.
Thank you. Vietnam War was both alike and different from many of the other wars. We were alike in the way that America was in disarray, much like it is today. Polarization was extreme. Some Americans were for the war, most weren't. We fought similarly against aggression like our forefathers before us. Morbidity and mortality were high. So fast sometimes that death notices coming from the War Department came by way of taxi drivers rather than military chaplains, simply because there weren't enough chaplains because we were dying too fast. We were different as well. This was America's first televised war. Tours of duty in Vietnam were 1 year long. Americans tuned in to Dan Rather and Walter Cronkite, and the term TV dinner became commonplace. As parents wishing to see their children at whatever station they were at, hopefully they would appear on television at dinner time. Problem was sometimes there were missiles and rockets that landed, and mom was quick to say, turn the television to another channel. There were no ticker tape parades like our forefathers had in previous wars. Too many vets came home to no one. They were homeless, they were hungry, and they died on our streets with heroes' medals in their worn out coat pockets. I was a young Army captain commander of a medical unit in Vietnam, and I'd like to give you the old soldier's prayer. So if you'd bow your heads for a moment. I have fought where others feared to serve. I have gone where others failed to go. I've lost friends in war and strife who value duty more than love of life. I have shared the camaraderie of pain. I have searched the lands for men we have lost. I have sons and daughters who serve this land of liberty, who would fight to see that other stricken lands are free. I have seen the weak forsake humanity. I have heard the traitors praise our enemy. I've seen challenged men become even bolder. I've seen the duty, honor, sacrifice of the soldier. Now I understood the meaning of our lives, the loss of comrades not so very long ago. So to you who have answered duty's siren call, may God bless you, my sons and daughters. May God bless you all. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Sorry, I can't see too well today. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Randy Donald. Come get the microphone. Do we have any international visitors today?
Just the same one.
Please be seated. We've got Murray besides Murray. Okay. Okay. Murray's right there.
Our semi-permanent tourist guest from Canada.
Right. Welcome again.
But yeah, we should get him signed up.
And we have visiting Rotarians today.
Are you a visiting Rotarian? Well, stand up and tell us about yourself and your club.
Tim Showerman. I come from a club about 25 miles west of Portland, town of about 20,000 people, but it has a small college. I've been a member now for 50 years. I was once the youngest member in my club. I think I might now be the oldest.
I can relate
Well
to
done.
that.
Oh.
Randy, we have somebody else on the other side of the room.
Okay. Any other guests?
Sorry. Oh, they're going to be guests of the club. Okay. Our head table today, we have Captain Duncan Smith, who will be further introduced by Greg McGuire later. We have Ginger Anderson, Carolyn Sparks, and Eric Kruger, our new member. So please help me welcome our head table.
There you go. I have a couple of the guests over here at this table.
Oh, I guess we're
President Katie and my fellow Rotarians, it is my pleasure to have two members of the Foundation for Independent Tomorrow, Michael Hollis and Tim Duckworth, also Tom Davis and of my firm, and both Tom and Richard are board members for Foundation for Independent Tomorrow, and just serendipitously, Gary, who is the head of the foundation, who wrote the check that we're giving today, happens to be sitting here too. So it's a very happy table.
Good. Thank you. Okay.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. It is my pleasure to welcome again Sean Hanna with See Through Glass. He's here with us. We're still getting him scheduled for an interview, but after last week, we stepped outside of here, and I can say that he was really inspired by what we do here. And so we look forward to potentially having him. Thank you.
Welcome.
We have two guests of the club here today that are relocating Rotarians. We have Dallas Lee and we have John Bookke.
welcome both.
Good to have you here.
Do we have any other guests? Okay. Announcements. We have Greg McGuire. Talk about the tailgate tonight.
All right, it's Fresno State time. Friday Night Lights football at UNLV. Party in the tailgate or tailgate party at 5 p.m., 5:30. You can get there, whatever. But we'll be there. It's UNLV versus Fresno State. This is really for the conference championship. I've already bought a bunch of tickets, but if you still want to go, I can probably get more. So please reach out to me before the end of the meeting today. Thank you.
Do you want to give the microphone to Ginger? So, Santa Claus?
Is Ginger ready?
There's a rumor.
Yeah, let's see. What do I want to talk about today? I always want to talk about Santa Claus. We did an awesome job. You all did an awesome job getting your donations in early. I think we'll have the check from the Engelstad Foundation any day now with the match. So thank you for that. We still need volunteers at all three malls. So bring your friends, family, business associates, come on out and shop and have a great time with these kids.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing a bunch of people at Galleria Mall where I'll be at. So we need more shoppers at Galleria. We have a great time there. There's always donuts. We have police officers. You want to make sure you've checked the box for Galleria Mall.
Would you take the microphone to Jim Cole? Again.
He's getting twofers?
Yeah.
I'm channeling my inner Russ Swain. So I've got two announcements for you. First, for those of you who don't know, we have a LinkedIn account and we post there as well. So if you have a phone on you and you have LinkedIn on your phone or you have a LinkedIn account, please start following the LinkedIn account. We're trying to reach out to other business owners and professionals, so that will be quite helpful. The second thing is we're having a backpack stuffing on November 19th at Area Council Boy Scouts. This is for the kids for Santa Claus. They're going to get some toiletries, balls, and a few other items. So we need people to come down and help us stuff the backpacks. It'll be at 9 o'clock at the Area Council, Boy Scout Area Council, which is Russell and 215, basically.
Thank you. I think Janice Lenke is over here, right in front of you.
Oh, there she is. I see you.
Hello, everyone. The holiday party is fast approaching Thursday, December 8th at JW Marriott Hotel. Very convenient, ample free parking, great food, great environment, geese, ducks, what are they that own the ponds? And Jackie Thornhill brought in this cute Coca-Cola Santa statue. If you go ahead and sign up by November 18th, you'll be eligible to win that cute little Santa Claus. So please sign up. We have so many new members and we need everybody to experience the holiday party. We're not doing raffles. It is a night of celebrating, enjoying, and we have Greg doing the DJing. So please, everybody.
Barbara Castro has an exciting announcement.
Where are you, Barbara? Oh. Get my exercise today. Get those steps in.
Hi, first I want to say thank you to all the veterans here today. If it wasn't for you, we would not have the freedoms that we have today. You guys fight for us daily, and thank you, thank you, thank you to you. So I have a couple announcements. We have been working really, really hard to raise money for the canned food drive. We've been having 25 club socials. We had one last week at Deborah Howard's house. We had a great turnout. A lot of new members came. It was a great time. We had a wine tasting. We also played bingo, raised $110 for the canned food drive. So that was great. So speaking of raising money, today I got a check from Kathy Mahan for $1,000 for the canned food drive. And I want to thank her for that. I appreciate you so much. And to all of you who've helped us raise money for the canned food drive, we're not done yet, but I can tell you this, we are raising a lot, we are doing well, and it's all because of each and every one of you. We want to beat the other side, right? The other club, but most importantly, we're raising money for people who are less fortunate than us, the Salvation Army, right? People who don't have what we have. So that's most importantly. And the last thing I want to say is we're almost there. Let's keep going. And also, we do have our school committee over here today, the teachers and their kids, getting them to help us raise money as well. Thank you to you as well. And you guys, appreciate you once again.
I don't want to give away any secrets, but I just want to thank everybody that has so generously contributed to this food drive this year. Even if Kiwanis raises more money than we do, there are no losers, and the winner is going to be the Salvation Army and the hungry families. So thank you for your contributions. Brock Frazier has an announcement, a presentation. Yeah.
Going up.
On behalf of the past presidents, a little bit of procedural here. You all have on your tables the slate that we have put together Jim Tucker puts together the actual voting ballots, and they will be available tonight starting at 10, and it goes through 9 a.m. next Thursday. So you have a week to vote. It'll be emailed to you, the ballot, and you'll notice on your ballots that there are 10 individuals. There are 5 open spots. So you'll be in this instruction will be on your email. The past presidents have put together a slate of 10 here that you see. And I present this on behalf of the past presidents, present this slate to you for the elections coming up. Do I have a second for closing the nominations? Got several. Thank you. All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you, Brock. We have 10 people nominated for the board. The past presidents worked really hard to try and select people that are willing to serve, make the commitment that's required, and get the people who will do the best for the club. We have a phenomenal slate, and the bad thing is that only 5 people get elected. So thank you to the people who agreed to serve, and we look forward to next year's slate. Thank you. Nikki and Melanie, we have an induction. Not today? Oh, okay. Jim Cole, you have a presentation to make?
So Tom, who's one of my partners, identified Foundation for Independent Tomorrow as a charity that we would like to give some money to. And so on behalf of Howard and Howard and the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation, it is my pleasure to present a check to you for $5,000.
Thank you so much. My name is Michael Hollis. I'm the program director at Foundation for an Independent Tomorrow, FIT for short. This is Mia Ducksworth, the assistant director. I won't be before you long. We have just celebrated 25 years of success. Last year alone, we employed and assisted 733 individuals. We provided them with vocational training and workforce support. So that is our scope of work. Something that makes our organization unique is every day without fail, we have individuals that come to us. They have barriers to their employment from all walks of life, and we're able to build career plans to get them back on the right track. So thank you so much for this donation.
Thank you, Jim and Tom, for all you do, and FIT for the work that you do. Tony Kern. Okay, now Tony. Yes.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. It is my pleasure on behalf of the club's Community Grants Committee to announce a presentation of a check in the sum of $2,500 to Foster Kinship. And here to accept it is the founder, Ali Caliendo, Dr. Ali Caliendo. And just briefly before she accepts, I just wanted to advise you that the Foster Kinship caregivers are the relatives who boldly step up to care for children when their parents are unable to do so. That's what it's all about.
Thank you very, very much for this great honor for everyone from the Grants Committee and everyone in the club. We're so grateful. Foster Kinship helps about 3,000 children a year who can't live with their parents, stay with their families so they don't have to go in to live with strangers in foster care. And without support like this, we can't make sure that those kids have everything they need. So we're so, so grateful and appreciative. Thank you. Thank you. Kathy Mahan. We have a presentation to Beckley, and we also have our principals here today.
Right. First off, we're giving a grant for 1,500 to, well, actually $1,499, but to Beckley School for new computer mice for testing, and because they need them, and so that goes to Shannon. Yay! And I'm going to let Shannon introduce her guest, and then if you guys can pass the microphone around the table to get everybody introduced.
Hello, my lovely Rotarians. How are y'all? So good to see everybody. Thank you so much for the grant monies. We desperately are in need of mice. Our world has changed. Kids struggle with the little finger pad, and sometimes they need things that will kind of be a little more conducive. So thank you guys so much for that. Couple quick reminders. On Tuesday, we do have our Breakfast with Books, which is one of our biggest events that we have that Rotary supports. Please feel free to stop by on Tuesday at 7:45 in the morning. I know it's early, y'all, but the kids' faces are worth every little bit of it, to come help us with Breakfast with Books and pass out books. So let me introduce who I have next to me today. This lovely lady. She is one of our instructional coaches at Beckley Elementary School. This is Miss Heather Neff. Please give her a warm welcome. And I'm going to pass the mic over this way to the lovely Amanda Lush.
Well, hello. Good afternoon. Thank you guys so much for hosting us once again. And I say it every month that I'm here, and I'll say it again. It is completely impossible for us to do the work that we do without our community support. So when we have organizations like Rotary that are supporting our schools, it just makes things that much easier. And we really do feel supported in our community. And I'm gonna brag on my kiddos for a hot second. When I took over this school, like 30 days before COVID hit, we were the next to the lowest performing school in the entire school district. We gained 21 index points over COVID, which is a huge gain. And so we're not the next to the lowest anymore. And I attribute a lot of our success to just those community partnerships, having communities in our schools, and just making sure that we're out there and we appreciate all that you do for us. So thank you. And I'm going to pass this around to.
Hello, thank you. I'm Ms. Gates, the assistant principal at Deering Elementary. And I brought today Ms. Gill. She's over our behavior and has been running our dolphin den. We appreciate the Rotary Club for all of the support, the socks, the supplies, the candy. The kids love for Halloween, and we're kicking off our food drive. So thank you for the continued support.
We appreciate you all being here today. I know how hard you're working and trying to keep your classes going shorthanded. Okay, I'd like to thank all the people that helped set up today. Kathy Mahan and Debbie Howard set the room up. Our greeters this morning were Nancy Anderson and Antoinette Moreau. Jamie Goldsmith helped us sell tickets. Antoinette is serving as our scribe today. Past President Jim Tucker is our photographer. Our AV team today, David Jones and Dr. Michael Williams. And cleaning up, Barbara Castro and Michael Williams. Thank you. Enjoy a few minutes for fellowship and before we have the program. Before I bring Greg up to introduce Captain Duncan, we'll do the drawing. Last week, there was $1,626 in the pot. So the ticket to draw for the Joker is 1172678. Oh, we have a winner. Tom. You're going to donate your $10 back? Okay. Thank you, Brian. And for $50 in Lowry bucks, 1172530. I saw lots of people throw their tickets down. Oh, here we go. Murray. Very good. I'll bring him to you. There you go. Thank you.
Oh, all right.
Greg, you're on. I thought you were going to wear your uniform today. Doesn't fit, does it?
It doesn't fit, she said. Probably. Well, everybody, thank you for having us here today for Veterans Day. Before I get going, I'd like to introduce the Palo Verde JROTC Color Guard. Now, they've been with us before, but because of COVID and everything, we were not able to get them back. Last year, Veterans Day actually fell on Veterans Day, and they were out in the parade like all day long. So it's great to have you back. We have Cadet Geraldo DiFilippo. Please stand. Harna Rudd. Addison High. Sabrina Moran Aviles. And Mark Domeno. And their JROTC instructor, Captain Gordon Dowdy. Thank you for your service. So it's an honor today to have our very special guest, Captain Duncan Smith, all the way. He flew in from San Diego this morning. I've worked with Duncan before when we were active duty in the Navy. There's long stories there, but basically when Iraq and Afghanistan started, we needed to increase the throughput of Navy SEALs and special warfare operators through the pipeline and get more of them into our Navy quickly. So when I picked Duncan up today, I told him, it's like, hey, we got an hour. Do you mind if we kind of swing through the recruiters real quick? And, we just happened to meet up with a bunch of recruiters, and it was kind of like old times talking about why it's important to serve in your country, why we need more veterans. When I first joined the Navy, 220 million people in the country. Now there's about 330, 350 million. When I first joined the Navy, we had an active duty force of 2.3 million. Now our active duty force is about 1.3 million. So the population's gone up 100 million. The military population, active duty, has gone down by 1 million. It's super important that we're out there promoting our services in our schools and making sure that the kids today recognize that the military is a viable option and a viable career. And unfortunately, we're going the wrong way on this. Recruiting is really difficult right now for all the services. And I recommitted today to work with our local recruiters here to do something to make a difference, to get them back into the schools. Believe it or not, the schools many times will not let recruiters into the school. And that is a big problem, because if you don't know about the opportunity to serve, then you won't have the opportunity to serve. So anybody that has kids, parents, ask your schools, are you letting the recruiters in? That's the public announcement for today. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Captain Duncan Smith. You know, when I started thinking about Duncan, you know, there's a lot of things that Duncan and we came to meet each other, I think it was about 2005 or so. And we had a lot of similarities. I mean, first of all, we both went to USC, fight on. Now, we both went to grad school, and Duncan went to this place called UCLA. And I pretty much went to grad school anywhere else. Duncan was a Navy SEAL. I was the Jersey State Boardwalk Skee Ball champion in 1986. We both like to take long walks on the beach. Duncan likes to call them runs for 15 miles with 50-pound weights on your back. But he is an amazing individual. He has done so much. The bio that I could go on and on about is just too long, and I would take too much time from him. He comes from a family of veterans. He has 3 children that are all serving in the military. He served 32 years in the military as a Navy SEAL, graduating BUD/S in 1986. He started his own companies during Iraq and Afghanistan. He was over there multiple times. He was also, if you've ever seen the movie Act of Valor, which is the #1 film that kids want to be a Navy SEAL or Special Warfare for, that's him, producer right here, okay? He's done so much in Hollywood, in San Diego, now up in Washington, in the Orcas Islands. And with that, I'd like to introduce my friend and our Captain Navy SEAL, Captain Duncan Smith.
Hey, thank you, Greg. You know, as Greg got up here, Katie had asked if he's going to wear his uniform since it's Veterans Day, and he's not. But I'd like to correct that quickly so that, you know, you heard the expression, if you're all wrong, you're all right. So it's true. Today, he and I are going to be uniformed because, Greg, thank you for the invitation. I have a SEAL Family Foundation polo shirt for you to wear. So we'll be in the same uniform. All right. Thank you for having me here with you and to be able to recognize Veterans Day in such an amazing way, where the benediction was given by a Vietnam veteran, yet we've got the next generation here honoring us with your presence for the presentation of the flag. So it's wonderful to meet all the JROTC cadets that are here. Okay, we're going to do the video a little bit later if that's okay. So I know that you accomplished a tremendous amount with a large number of organizations, and that was really brought home to me today, sitting with you, seeing what you're doing for literacy and for learning in a number of organizations. The Rotary, my experience in San Diego, specifically in Coronado, where Katie has spent time, is that every 4th of July, every Veterans Day, it's the Rotary who is out there putting flags all through the boulevards and streets. So it's very apparent to me that you live by that same set of thoughts and ethos. So as Greg mentioned, Navy SEAL for a long time. One of the things that's kind of unique about the SEAL team that is highlighted here at the oldest Rotary Club in the Las Vegas area as you turn 100. We just turned 60 years old in the SEAL teams about a week ago. And SEAL Team 1 celebrated that, and all of us were there in the compound. Again, it was a number of generations, but it was a pretty amazing day. Today, things have changed for me. I hung up my swim fins and my uniform in April of 2018, so that's been several years. And today, I'm the executive director of the SEAL Family Foundation. I'm going to let you know a little bit about the Family Foundation. At the same time, I hope I educate you a little bit about the SEAL teams as well. And we're going to go into some Q&A afterwards. As Greg highlighted, early on following the events of September 11th, 2001, military activities that were a part of the national defense strategy in Iraq and Afghanistan called for a heightened growth of approximately 500 new SEALs. Actually, it was 15% across all special operations branches to combat terrorism throughout the Middle East, Africa, as far away as the Western Pacific. And to reach that goal of 500 new SEALs, we had to do some pretty creative thinking. Greg was part of that task force. He was the commanding officer of the Navy recruiting district outside Detroit, or we included Detroit, Michigan. I'd been in that role for a few years, and I took Greg aside and said, one of the things I want to do is, as I researched how Bill McRaven, who's an admiral who was in charge of the raid that took out Osama bin Laden, Joe McGuire, who was the director of national security, a 3-star admiral, and a number of other folks, including Congressional Medal of Honor recipient Ed Byers. When you talk to them, they found out about becoming SEALs through movies, whether it was the Green Berets that influenced Bill McRaven, or the Frogmen with Richard Widmark, which was cited by Admiral McGuire, no relation, but Admiral Joe McGuire said he joined because he saw that movie. And Ed Byers said it was the movie Navy SEALs that made him become a SEAL, and he served obviously valiantly at SEAL Team 6, where he earned the Medal of Honor. We knew that it was time to develop a film, and I shared with Greg that, yes, I was tasked with trying to redefine our marketing strategy to work in partnership with Greater Navy Recruiting, but to do it in such a way that we could highlight who we are and who we're not, and something that was real and easily understood, that also praised those who came before us. I shared with Greg I wanted to make it a team of teams, and that we wanted to highlight that the SEALs work with the aviation community, with the undersea community or submarine community, the surface community, and then other branches of the military. And Greg said, well, I've got an idea for you. I shared that we really wanted to highlight the underwater capability of the SEALs. And he said, I'm going to set you up with the commanding officer of the USS Michigan, who I met. Dietrich Kuhlman was his name then. Today, his title, he left the Navy as an admiral. Today, he's the CEO of one of the largest financial institutions in the country. But Dietrich was right on board. He recognized the importance of sharing insight about the submarine community as well. And so if you ever saw that film, Act of Valor, and how many people in here have seen it? Okay, if you haven't, it's worth a look. All the submarine scenes in there are genuine. We filmed on the USS Georgia, the USS Florida. And Greg was the catalyst in making that happen. Let me tell you a little bit about the SEAL Family Foundation. We are a 501c3 organization. We've been in existence for 14 years. We work directly in support of Naval Special Warfare families. I'll use the term NSW a lot, but if I get into acronym overdrive, please raise your hand or throw your dinner roll at me, and I will come around and explain whatever acronym I'm using. But I will say NSW a lot, and I'll refer to the SEAL Family Foundation as SFF a few times. Our mission is not about helping SEALs transition to their next career in life. Our goal is not to do things that say thank you once they've served. Our goal is to thank the SEALs, thank the Special Warfare Combat Craft crewmen, who are the boat guys, their families, and the Gold Star families who have made the ultimate sacrifice. We want to thank those individuals while they're at their time of service, and I'll explain why. Just a bit of background on the financial side. We were rated as a 4-star by Charity Navigator. That is the highest rated you can get, and our score is 97 out of 100. So important stats to know as you consider charities and what they do. I want to give you a quick idea of our programs. They really run along our 3 pillars of support, which is active duty SEALs and special boat team operators, their families, and then those families that have lost a loved one who is a SEAL or a SWIC that was killed in combat or in training for combat. One of the things we do early on in their career, SEAL training is broken into a year, the first 6 months of which is called BUDS. There's acronym number 2 for you, 3 for you, I guess, actually. BUD stands for Basic Underwater Demolition and SEAL Training. At the head table, I had the pleasure of sitting not just with Katie and Greg and Caroline and Ginger, but Eric, who showed me a picture over lunch of his dad, who was a UDT member. SEAL training, basic underwater demolition and SEAL training is the same today in many components as what it was for your dad, Eric. And that includes an element called Hell Week, where you're awake for an entire week. It's been in the news lately. We lost a young man, Seaman Kyle Mullen died following Hell Week a few hours afterwards. It is challenging. It is very demanding, and you will dig deeper during that 6-day evolution than you probably have any time in your life before that. Just about every SEAL will tell you that they've all dug much deeper into themselves to achieve more, sustain more, go through more, or push themselves harder during their SEAL career than they did during their training career in Hell Week. When Hell Week concludes, it's the first opportunity that they have to really catch their breath. And what we do is we want to encourage families. So the SEAL Family Foundation sponsors the Hell Week breakfast. And those young graduates, currently it's all males, but we anticipate that you're going to see some females who are completing Hell Week here soon. They're invited to bring their significant other, a spouse, a girlfriend, fiance. In this case, the gentleman on the right, this is from 6 weeks ago. He was the leading petty officer, the old guy in his buds class. And speaking to the other students, they all said he was a machine. And he's bringing his 1.5-year-old daughter in along with his wife. That is the start of bonding that organization. But as they get ready to graduate, prior to SEAL graduation, which is acronym for SEAL Qualification or SQT graduation, we hosted dinner. Now, my son is a SEAL. He's currently deployed. And the only thing harder than going through SEAL training is watching your kid go through SEAL training. And as he went through training, he was about to graduate, and he said, "Hey, Dad, just to let you know, make sure you're there Thursday, and it's 6 p.m." And I'm thinking back, I've never heard of a SEAL graduation taking place on a Thursday. No, Matt, they're in the mornings, they're Fridays, always have been, always will be. Dad, look, I'm just telling you, you got to be there Thursday night. I show up Thursday night, and it's this dinner. And I didn't know what it was going to be, but it was a beautifully catered dinner that really took, for me personally, hearing about all his friends. Matt, he had 2 friends named Max, Joe, another one named Tim, who had gone through all these crazy situations, difficult training, but they shared a bond. Well, I not only got to meet those individuals, but I got to meet their families. Why is that important? It's important for a couple reasons. You're hoping to celebrate future successes that they have. You can share that joy when someone qualifies as a jump master, or when they get selected to go to another team, or they advance in rank. But it also brings you together for what, unfortunately, is often inevitable, and you're gathered together for something that's not a joyous occasion. It's around the injury or a loss of one of those people so close to your son. So that family begins at a dinner we are very proud to sponsor. This is a young man, one of those Maxes I just talked about. My son had rolled back, so my son did not graduate in this Max's class. And but I got to know him quite well. His parents are amazing people, and that's my wife all the way on the left there. This young man has gone forward, and from the time that we got to know each other's families, he was a class honor man. He is now a chief at one of our most demanding teams. I'll leave it at that. I won't get more specific. And he was recently selected as the first enlisted member of the United States military to attend Navy test pilot school. In his spare time, this guy joined the Navy with offers to play football at Columbia and the Naval Academy, chose to enlist as a 17-year-old, was 19 when he graduated from training, and while he was serving, he completed a degree in electrical engineering in his quote unquote spare time. Amazing guy, but that's the kind of people that are out there. We do the same things at this exact time of day for the boat teams when they graduate. This is Crewman Qualification Training Luncheon. That's acronym, where are we? 6, I think. CQT luncheons. And this is a young family. I took this shot last Thursday. It's a father taking a picture, and then he asked me to hold the camera so he could jump in. But he's got a buddy, the young man who's graduating is a boat team member, as his buddy who's also graduating is a boat team member. And then between them is his older brother who's a Marine sergeant. And just the pride and the bonding was incredible. This goes from being a briefing, and it becomes an actual event because we provide the meals for every single graduation. We do a number of family programs. The Naval Special Warfare community, anyone who is a SEAL or a SWCC, or if you were a logistician, a lawyer, a radio specialist, or a medical person, while you're serving with us, we consider you part of our family as well. So the SEAL Family Foundation takes care of all those individuals. And when we run something like the Harvest Hoedown, a 4-day camp out up in the mountains near San Diego, really 3 nights, we have our technicians as well as our SEALs and their families present. We just ran this in October. Prior to Halloween, we had 478 family members. We are limited in our capacity because funding is an issue and their time is an issue. So when we put this online through the family readiness groups, it usually goes out as full within about an hour of when we first let people know it's open for registration. Long time ago, this picture was taken, me and my daughter, just after, it's about 2003, before I met Greg. And we sort of did things ourselves back in the day. So there would be kind of a platoon fund or a team fund, and we'd have some kind of kid gatherings because you're gone so much, not just when you're deployed, but when you're training for deployment, you're gone almost as much. We, on average, the goal is to keep it under 180 days a year of out-of-town travel for training. And obviously, when you're deployed, you're gone. And we're struggling to get that under that 180, but usually it's about 200 days a year. So warning to the parents in the room, this little girl, through her affiliation with all this kind of military stuff, she's on the left in this picture, and I may be blocking you, but that's my daughter with her brothers. And Kirby's going to earn her wings as a naval aviator here in, I believe it's March 3rd or March 6th. So, and next to her, the best looking guy there is no bloodline of mine. That's her boyfriend, now husband, but he's in pilot training right now as well. And then my 2 sons are just to the center and then to the right of center. My son on the right is the one who's currently deployed. He's got 2 little girls, super cute. I'm trying to keep them excited and report back to my son when I can. We've talked twice in the past 2 months that he's been gone, but I let him know that I'm teaching the girls how to dance, and in my view, I'm doing a damn good job. 1 and 3 years old. We also are very focused on education, learning disabilities, improvement. Twofold. One is to take care of where there's gaps. That includes those with special needs. Now, the military, the Navy provide quite a bit, but there are gaps between what TRICARE and the military provides that we hope to fill, and we think we do a good job of that. We're about 40% of the demand. We're meeting 40% of the requests that come in for us to fund additional learning and tutoring. Very soon, we will be taking part in our annual event, Wreaths Across America. It's where Gold Star families place wreaths that we provide. We take care of their accommodations, and we really bring the program to life for Naval Special Warfare community. We lost the largest loss of special operations folks back to World War II in a single day, Extortion 17. We do this at both Fort Rosecrans in San Diego, and then also at Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. We sponsor the family readiness groups. Those are informal volunteer groups that exist at each command. We provide them with $2,500 twice a year, so $5,000 that allow them to take care of those emergencies, those things that are needed on an ongoing basis. Finally, one thing that's interesting, we talked about beginning families, helping people through Hell Week. Well, something else that really happens in life, we all get better at what we do. For a young SEAL to really be an apprentice, a truly competent warrior, doesn't happen on the first platoon. Usually happens on the second or third platoon. You're not going to get someone who joined like Max at 19 to stay in the Navy when he's now 28 or 32 if he's got a family and the Navy service is taken away from his family. So our aim is to reinforce that marriage, reinforce that family, help take care of the children so that when deployed forces are forward, they are completely focused on defending the nation because they know we've got their backs, that we've got their families. The average SEAL today has 2 kids, a mortgage, is 32 years old, has a college degree, and he served 11 years. We want to keep those guys in. We want to keep them serving. To make that marriage something that's strong, we started a couples resiliency program. This was driven by interest on the part of my board of directors for the foundation. We're going to show you a really quick film that will walk you through the event that we just took place that's going to be replicated soon on both coasts. That was the Couples Resiliency Kayaking Retreat. And David, thank you for making the electronic magic happen here.
The critical aspect of a program like this is moving from the chaos and complexity of your daily life and realizing how to relax in an environment the way humans were meant to be.
This pilot program is meant to bring SEALs and their spouses together in the wilderness where they can gain some clarity and at the same time build their relationship. The goal for this is to design what we think will be an incredibly strong program for building family resiliency among our active duty SEALs and SWCS.
I think anytime you step into a new experience, there's a trepidation of the unknown. So I was just excited to get out in the water and be in a new environment that we just haven't been in together.
I've been on those a lot in my life, but that day was really kind of magical. The water was glass.
It was so smooth and beautiful, and it had kind of been a little bit tiring. So our muscles were a little bit achy, and just to get through this incredible water was just exciting.
I felt a sense of adventure and unknown, but excited by that. I just had to trust that I wasn't the only one paddling because I couldn't see behind me. I was too afraid to turn around, so a lot of trust there.
You know, so much of what our careers entail is chaotic, and our families get upended in a lot of respects our lives do. And I think I speak for the wives and the other guys here when I say that through that chaos, we have an opportunity to build incredible relationships and do incredible things.
We kind of forget that importance of intention, and sometimes I just miss that in the busyness of life.
Earlier, we took a break from fly fishing. We were able to talk about deployments and the hardships faced, brought back some memories of being in the teams and living that life, even as a wife not being on deployments.
Spouses to the military understand spouses to the military. And I really appreciate the sisterhood community. And I've been able to reconnect with that.
With everyone sharing the same new experience creates the bond, and that's one of the benefits of this program. And the physical activity of packing to the island, you're creating memories, and those memories are connecting you. I'm just grateful to be out here where we can really focus on ourselves and working with the counselor to remind us how important it is to nurture our relationship for each other. And it's nice to have it fresh in our hearts.
I think one of the advantages of this program having a therapist was just the setting itself being so stress-free allows us to connect in a way where there's nothing else going on. And so the entire 5-day trip allows us to really disconnect from all that, connect with each other, and then engage with in that counseling session on a completely different plane than we ever have in the past.
The importance of something like this, you know, it's almost like a reset. Like, here we go. What do we want to work on? What do we want to rediscover about each other? Because you're almost having to get to know each other again.
I'm so grateful that the SEAL Family Foundation has seen the need and then has given us the opportunity to have this experience and this time away to reconnect.
We have so much white noise where we live, and to have stillness and quietness. I mean, there's something to be said about that, the magic of that.
All the SEALs who were on that are Afghanistan veterans. So my board directed us to do something to address Afghanistan and ensure that people feel their contribution there was meaningful. And rather than look for other opportunities to take care of that desire, we looked internal. And these are all Afghanistan veterans and their spouses who this pilot program a month ago is now the template that we're using to craft what SEAL returning squadrons this spring and fall will be able to go through as well. So David, if you could just get those last two slides up for me. Greg and I were talking earlier. I think it's really important, and I probably should have started with this, but I wanted to thank this Rotary chapter, Katie, you and all your teammates, for the donation you made when a young woman who never served in the military, but is very focused on veterans, ran 209.5 miles to support the SEAL Family Foundation. So your chapter gave generously, and we appreciate that. And what I wanted to do is challenge you. I have SEAL Family Foundation coins, and if we can get 10 people to donate $20.95 plus $5 to go to the Rotary Foundation, $25. I got to do that math again. $20.95. So it'd be $25.95. I will give you a SEAL Family Foundation coin. And if there are 10 of you, we will ask Emily Kratz, who has won just about every major ultra run that's out there, to include anyone here of the Leadville 100 mountain bike race, often called, kind of the Ironman of mountain biking. 10 SEALs went to do it. 7 of us completed it and earned our belt buckles. Emily won the entire series, not that race, but all 4 races for this last year. She's also raced the Marathon des Sables across the Sahara. And then she was the top finisher in about a 300-mile race in New Zealand from the slopes of Mount Cook to the coast. And then on top of that, she's some kind of software executive. So we are very fortunate that she's on our side, but she's an amazing speaker. And we would invite you to have her as a guest if we have 10 people who'd be interested in doing that. So I'm going to be up here. If you want to come up, I will give you a coin. And once we get 10, I'll let Greg and Katie know. And then we're going to ask you to just text. David, I think you put me in charge of the clicker, didn't you? There we go. We're going to be looking for you to text SEAL to 24365 for $25.95. That's right, $25.95. I should have made a slide for that. So if you raised your hand, let me come over to you and give you a coin. And then I will ask you to just go ahead and text that if you would. And then there's going to be an opportunity in there to ask what it was for specifically. And if you just say Emily runs, there'll be a message piece in there. Just say Emily runs. And I'm going to grab this collection of others. We had some other hands go up. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Perfect. And any questions? Katie's going to be passing out the rest of the coins. Sir.
Here you go, Brian. The rest of your life ever just being bored? You know, I hear the Leadville and these extreme sports and things like that, but coming from this sort of high of life, do you just wake up every day and go, oh my gosh, this is the most boring life I could ever imagine?
So your question is, do people get bored after the intensity of being a SEAL? I think it varies for every person. Most of my circle of friends, I've had 2 friends who've taken their own lives. Lots of divorces, gray divorce, right? So lots of guys who get through all this, and then, that's why I'm so fond of developing this couples program. But I think it varies for everyone. I think for the majority of us, it's a chance to do all those things we never had time to do. So I don't see a lot of bored guys, but the lack of intensity, that shift surprises people. And so it does create some issues for some folks.
Any other questions? Yeah. Here you go, Jim.
How many SEALs are there today? Right now, there are approximately 12,000 folks in Naval Special Warfare. About 2,000 of those are reservists. The bulk of those are folks who provide other skill sets outside of being a SEAL. There are approximately 2,300 enlisted SEALs and about 600 SEAL officers. All right. Thank you very much for letting me be with you here this afternoon. Happy Veterans Day.
All right, well done. Thank you, Duncan. Now, can I just real quick, anybody that's a veteran, can you please stand? Thank you to our veterans. Thank you for serving. And only because our cadets have to get back to school, we're going to bring them in to retire to colors. Duncan will stay around to answer any questions, and then we have a quick presentation right after the color presentation. Okay, thank you. Retire to colors. Everybody, please stand. Palo Verde High School, JRTC. Thank you. And Duncan, if you could join us up here real quick. You know, one thing you learn about being in the Navy and the services with veterans, you understand that, as I said earlier, we need more veterans. That means we need more people to get in. And Duncan and the SEAL Family Foundation have definitely figured out that the key to making that happen is to take care of the families that are in the services right now. Duncan, on behalf of the foundation and our companies, I'd like to present this check for $2,000 to the Navy SEAL Family Foundation. Thanks for coming.
Okay, don't go away. I have something for you. We have our Soul Power Award, which represents a pair of shoes to a child in a needy child in your name. So,
thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Meeting adjourned. Oh. You know what? Right here. Take these. Okay. I'll throw mine in. Sorry?
I can't get it to come up.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't get my.
Kind of a screwed up day. Yeah, I had eye surgery yesterday. I got to move out of my house this morning.
When are they going to start? Next week? Tuesday morning.